strangers, here Jess and welcome to a new video. It's finally spooky season, well, officially spooky season, and I think there's no better time for a story time of a bit of horror freaky story than this. And let's go with the video. For the first story, I had to ask my mom about this because I don't remember. I was really little. So when I was really little, my parents and I live in an apartment, and they were actually brand new, if I'm not mistaken. And I used to tell my mom that there was someone on the corridor, that there was someone in the kitchen, or there was someone in the living room, and they searched for someone, but there was no one. And that apartment is really little. So I think my mom once told me, because she didn't want to tell me this time, that I used to ask her, that I entered the room and I asked her, why are you here, if I saw you walking to the living room or something. And she was like, no, I'm here. I've been here all the time. And I think the ghost I was seeing was a really long black hair woman, because my mom had really long hair at the time. And my mom says that I really didn't tell her about this, like, directly. That it was one day that I told my grandfather that there was a woman that I saw in the apartment, and my grandfather was a deacon. So the deacons are able to bless places and people and cars and more stuff. So he went to the apartment immediately and blessed the apartment, and from that day on, I think I didn't mention it her, I didn't see her again. And I think that's nice, because I don't really want my past to be about, oh, I saw ghosts all the time. And that's the first story. I don't remember much. I just say what I remember my mom told me, because she didn't want to tell me more this time that I asked her. The second story, it's not spooky but freaky. When my grandpa died, I was in Ohio and he was in Mexico City. I remember that day because I was feeling sick, really sick, so I slept all day. I remember waking up around 12 and 1 p.m. really crying desperately, feeling like something was wrong, but not knowing what, and also a feeling of something is missing, but I don't know what it is. I tried to brush it off because I was feeling really sick, and I went back to sleep. When I woke up later, I did something that I didn't do in a year, that was check my Twitter. Like, something told me, check your Twitter because you need to know something. And I opened it and I saw that one of my cousins was trying to reach me because my grandfather died earlier that day. I traveled to Mexico City. In that moment, my father and I didn't get along really well. So I tried to talk with him really low-key and ask him how he died, what happened, and everything. And he explained me how it happened. He explained me who went with him to the hospital and everything. And he told me that the hour that he died was around 12 and 1 p.m. Mexico time. So it made more sense that it was him trying to say goodbye to me in a way, because he couldn't when he was alive. For the third story, it was a nightmare day. It was a really horrible day. For the company that I work, sometimes they have projects and they like to send their employees that they trust the most to those kind of projects, and they sent me to a school in the city on the top of a mountain next to a highway. It wasn't a really nice place, and when I had to return to my home, I started coughing so bad because I was sick in that moment that I almost fainted twice. My phone was in low battery and almost didn't have signal to call an Uber, a Didi, or whatever I could ask for. Also, the buses that passed through opposite ways both had the same destiny in front. So I had no idea what to do. And I was feeling desperate because I had to cross the highway if I wanted to return to the city, if I was correct with the way I had to go. I don't know how I survived that day. Well, yeah, I do, actually. I went into the bus that I thought it was right. I sat and it started to go back to the city. Yay. Not the J. It took a path that I didn't recognize. So I was between staying at the bus and waiting till the end of the route that I thought that was near my father's place, or wait till someplace I knew and hop back down and ask for a taxi or whatever. So I decided to stay there and wait a bit, and then the bus stopped at some point. With the low battery, I could see that it was close to a mall that I know, that it was close to my house. Well, not that close, but I knew it was closer to where I was going. And I was thinking about if taking a taxi there, or I don't know, doing something. And in that moment I was kind of bending down, checking the phone, trying to check it, and I felt like a hand tapping or grabbing me, and I was like, there was no one was there, and no one could put their hand between the seats or on top of the seats without me looking at the hand. And the lady sitting next to me wasn't looking at me at all, and her hands were almost like this. So no one touched me, and I decided that that was my key to jump down the bus and ask for a taxi, if I could ask for that taxi there. And I did, and I reached my home, and then I died in my home from being sick. And I really think that that was my grandfather taking care of me again, saving me from doing a silly thing. And I swear I can't explain that, because I really felt a hand on my back. And the fourth story, it's more creepy than the other ones. Yeah, why not? I take photos. I have an Instagram account of just photography, and I decide around this time of year to go to a cemetery and take photos, because the family of the deceased people goes and puts food, flowers, decoration, and other stuff, because the day of the dead. So I asked my father to drop me in one that is near my grandma's house and near the apartment where he lives, and that I knew the zone. So I entered. At some point I came across the key keeper, and I told him that I was a photographer, a student, that I was going to respect everything, that I went just to take photos. And he said that, yeah, there are a lot of students go and take pictures. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Then I'm just gonna walk around, take pictures, and then leave. At some point I started hearing children laughing. And I was like, okay, let's keep walking, please. And I moved from that place to another one. And at some point I felt like if someone was following me, and but I couldn't see anyone. And I talked with the caretaker. I could see a woman that was visiting tomb, and I saw some other caretakers, other place far, and I was like, there's no one near me. Why I am feeling like someone is following me? So I was thinking, if someone is following me, I will turn right in some huge tombs and then turn again and return from that path and see if someone is there. And as I was turning right, I looked back and saw an old man with old dressing pants, a sweater of 2 colors, and the characteristic way of putting the hands behind the back and walk with the hands behind. But till my brain realizes that I saw someone, and I turn to the path, there's no one there. I saw some gardeners, I think, but they were the only ones, and there was no one else there. And it was impossible because I could see people with the thumbs. It wasn't like people just make poof and disappear from thin air. And I said, okay, I will just start walking towards the door to get out of here. But as I stopped to take some more photos of cute chipmunks, I realized that I didn't have that feeling of someone is following you. So I was like, maybe that was my grandfather scaring the bad juju that I was feeling. And I think it's better not to risk it to let something bad follow me again. So I better leave. And I left the place. But the last two are really hard to explain or hard to find explanation and logic to those. These kind of things that I feel like my grandfather is still taking care of me freaks me out a lot sometimes, because I can't really explain it. Because sure, I think he could still take care of me, but I don't sure believe in something like that. I'm not sure if he would do that. You can think whatever you want. That's my point of view. That's how I live them. And that's how I'm trying to understand it, try to explain them. Because I really can't. I try to find the logic to each one, but I couldn't. So yeah, those are the 4 freaky, creepy stories of the day or the week. I don't know. Well, that's all for now. If you like it, leave a like. And if you want to see more videos, click the subscribe button. And I will see you in the next video. See ya!